Usually the zombies on sick flicks love to eat Italians, but today they wanted something a little different, so we ordered Japanese. Welcome to Sick Flicks, where I take a deep dive into the cinematic sewer to help you embrace your inner gore geek. I'm Mike Bracken, aka the Horror Geek, and today we're tackling Atsushi Muroga's Japanese zombie epic, Junk. Released in 2000, Junk features zombies, yakuza, thieves, and the military all engaged in a bloody battle royale inside an abandoned military base. It borrows liberally from other films, but manages to entertain despite the overall familiarity of the plot elements. If you like zombie movies, you're in for a treat with this one. But is Junk splattery enough to earn a 5 barf bag rating? Let's get to the gore and find out. We fade in on these flashing shots of a hand in a jar. Did I just wander into a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie or what? And we get this dead girl on a gurney hooked up to a heart rate monitor. Hey, I don't think she needs that. B, is this a sequel to The Beyond? Then Dr. Max Headroom turns up to give us an intro to biology lecture like this is your first day down at the community college.
Life can surrender to death, but with the right chemical persuasion, death can surrender to life.
After explaining that death can surrender to life, he fills his syringe with his green reanimating fluid. Man, how many movies is Junk gonna rip off in the first 5 minutes?
This DNX is the invention of all time.
Wait, did he just say the reagent was DMX? Oh, no, that's how resurrectors roll. Man, my DMX sucks. He shoots her up like this is a fancy trap house, and if you guess she's coming back from the dead, give yourself a screenwriter's credit.
Doctor! It woke up!
Coming back from the dead can really make you work up an appetite, so she decides to snack on some neck meat.
Now tell me your name. Tell me your...
And freeze-frame jump cut to another movie. Here, Beetle Bailey and G.I. Joe stop by to see this doctor. Probably just looking for some STD treatments after a wild night off base. Ah yes, these test results show you guys have a case of chlamydia. Hope you're not too attached to this narrative plotline because we're on the move again. Over here in our third film, we're watching Japanese people smoke while looking serious.
当然彼とはその時点でバイバイ。
Look, this guy's Final Fantasy VIII Cypher cosplay gets a B for effort and a C- for character accuracy. Don't look now, but it's like we've got a cipher of ciphers. Oh yeah, I definitely think this guy is gonna win the cosplay contest at the anime convention. Nailed it. Anyway, they put on some kooky masks and rob this jewelry store. No idea why they don't have gun blades, but let's just roll with it. The Reservoir dog-style heist is going great until this lady decides to stab a robber in the foot. Look, I'm just trying to make a point. A life of crime never pays off. The good news is she ended this guy's competitive dancing career. The bad news is she gets 3 slugs for her efforts. Anyway, they make it to the getaway car where Cypher's having a meltdown. Just give him a potion, he'll be fine. Over in another movie, Sephiroth's hanging out in this dive bar. Dude, why does everyone look like a Final Fantasy character in this movie? Turns out Sephiroth, aka Ramon, is the fence for all the jewels these guys just stole, and he's telling them where to meet for the exchange.
よし、場所は58号線を西へ行くと製糖工場の跡地が。
Then it's time for some exposition about this place.
近くに民家はないし、札もめったに来ません。
もともとは軍の敷地です。今は誰もいません。そうか。
Huh, sounds great. I mean, what could go wrong? Over here at what must be a different base, the Kiss Army prepares for battle. Guessing that dude on the left's mullet is not regulation. I don't know, but I've been told. I don't know, but I've been told. Eskimo, hey, let's keep this show rated R. Oh, look, it's the doctor and the soldiers from earlier. Guess they're still in this movie. Fun fact, before he became the BTK killer, Terry Rader liked to appear in Japanese zombie movies. He's here to deliver some administrative exposition.
The Arms Development Department has shown some interest in your study data, and the program has been continued off base.
Turns out dead Dr. Max Headroom and Japanese Dr. Takashi work together on the DNX project. But wait, there's more.
I'm still having a bit of trouble believing that DNX can actually bring the dead back to life. But I guess it really does.
I gotta say, the army guy is pretty nonchalant about what would potentially be the scientific breakthrough of a lifetime. Well, yeah, I mean, bringing the dead back to life is sorta cool, but so is indoor plumbing. Anyway, the gist of all this jibber-jabber is that this project is so top secret even most of the military doesn't know about its existence.
Nobody in the upper brass knows about this. In fact, there are very few who do in the entire military. We don't want to leave any tracks.
And they've got to clean up the zombie infestation to keep it that way. I wonder how that's gonna work out. Oh, and guess where the zombies are? If you guess that old base where the yakuza and the jewel thieves are headed, give yourself another screenwriter's credit. And just because we don't have enough plots in this movie, the getaway driver is trying to buy a new car direct from Japanese Joe Isuzu.
で、私の車の件だけど。
いやー、つい先ほどなんですよ。ぜひ買いたいというお客様がいらっしゃいましてね。
Do you kids even remember Joe Isuzu? Christ, I'm old. Anyway, they're at the base waiting for the meetup, but they're not alone. And back over at the main base, General BTK has reminded Dr. Takashi he's part of this whether he wants to be or not.
Thought you understood that we're going to work secretly on this.
You mean you would do anything? Even though it could be a disaster? And that certainly a chance might become involved.
Look, his English is better than my Japanese, but he still sounds like the all your base or belong to us guy. I don't know exactly what he's saying here, but apparently there's some security system to keep the dead contained.
All I need to do to access lab security system by computer.
What is that?
It's a protection system that keep the dead secure.
Yeah, let's just go with that. Back at base, Saki explores her way right into this jump scare. Hey, what are the odds of bumping into you here? Oh right, we came together. Not only does June want to hook up with her, he wants to change the split from 4 people to 2.
しばらく俺に付き合え。可愛がってやるぜ。なんならよ、あの2人ぶち殺して金は2人で山分けに。
What a guy. She rejects his invite to the Tokyo Game Show. Man, there are a lot of video game references in this review, so he heads off to explore some strange noises. I'm sure this is gonna go great too. He finds the cliche cat scare, but then this zombie goes all Van Helsing and impales his throat on this stake. The rest of the Reservoir dogs hear the scream and go investigate, but all they find is this makeshift morgue. Looks like things are pretty dead up here. They do find a blood trail and follow it like it's the Yellow Brick Road, but it doesn't lead to a wizard, it just takes them to June's corpse, where these zombies have had their ribs delivered. Look at the bright side. You all get a better cut of the money now. They don't want to be rude and interrupt dinner, but this dude's like, no, stay. You're gonna love the stuff on the menu. Akira makes the zombie film rookie mistake and not aiming for the head, which causes this dude to spill his guts. Cub here gets it, though. They're about to dip out, but they run right into this cutscene with Sephiroth and his minions.
銃声が聞こえたがどうしたんだ？
ジュンはいないよ。殺された。
殺された？
Needless to say, he's not sold on the whole zombie thing.
ゾンビだと？
After an exchanging of goods, we get Junk's Admiral Akbar moment. It's a trap! There's no money in that briefcase. Ramon offers them a deal, which is basically leave now and live, but Cub wants to renegotiate and gets blasted for his troubles. Nice work, Cub. While they're busy laughing it up, June's back. He's taking a bite out of crime while Akira and Saki flee with a yakuza in hot pursuit. This guy clearly went to the Stormtrooper Academy because he manages to miss both of them with a machine gun. But he does hit these conveniently placed bottles of DNX, which just so happen to splash right onto the corpses. I'd tell you storing zombie juice next to corpses was probably an OSHA violation, but this is Japan. OSHA rules don't apply. They flee deeper into the base with the gangster in hot pursuit, and then Saki makes the mistake of bringing a knife to a gunfight. Guess she never saw the Untouchables. Back at the other base, they're about to lock it all down, but this happens. It's not just a Code Red, it's a Code Red 3. And now that the zombies have based it for long enough in that DNX, they're ready to join the party. Gotta say, I like the Goblin-esque music here. It's a nice touch. They're all trying their best to get up first, but there's definitely some stiff competition. Back at HQ, everyone's decided the best course of action for the Code Red is to just arm the self-destruct mode.
Activate the destruct mode.
Yes, Doctor.
I mean, it's the only way to be sure, right? Too bad the zombie queen here has other ideas. Guess she took a programming course when she was in high school.
I don't understand.
Oh yeah, we learned to do this on Trash 80 computers with BASIC when I was in junior high. Doc Takashi seems pretty bothered about this message. Wonder what that's all about. Meanwhile, Sephiroth finds himself surrounded by the undead. Just use Supernova, man. If you're worried there aren't enough potential zombie victims left, don't fret. The military guy is on his way and he's bringing Dr. Takashi with him. Back at the base, Sephiroth's basically a room temperature lunch at this point. But you know he's just getting ready to morph into his final form like all good video game bad guys. Zombie Sephiroth's like, you'll never steal my materia. Oh, and I taste delicious. Try me. Saki isn't impressed, and she goes all Chow Yun Fat on the undead with both guns blazing. And she blasts him right in the third eye. Guess she skipped breeding the gold chocobo for Knights of the Round, so this'll have to work. She runs the jewels like this is an LP and Killer Mike joint, but surprise, they're overrun by zombies. Things look bleak, but they're not going down without a fight. Saki's like, let me take a stab at this, and she buries a knife in this dude's head. They might be out of the woods, at least until Saki plunges through the floor and then falls to what appears to be her doom. Except she's not really dead, right? Of course she's not. She's down here on the lower level with a mangled leg and a ringing cell phone. I bet that's Joe Isuzu calling about the car again. Turns out it's Akira trying to find her, but he gives up way too easily. Hey, remember those army reinforcements? Well, turns out it's just one soldier and the doctor. They're heading inside to blow the place up.
These don't look like military vehicles.
Where is the laboratory?
Second floor, come on.
Back inside, the undead have found Saki, and they're engaged in the slowest foot race in the history of man or zombie kind. Akira, meanwhile, has made it out and flees. What a hero. While that's going on, Soldier Dude has found the computer. Damn it, I knew this thing would have the blue screen of death on it when I got here. Now I gotta unplug everything and reboot it. Saki's barricaded herself in her room, but these zombies are as persistent as the Jehovah's Witnesses and are gonna keep knocking until she lets them in. We've got new issues of Watchtower. Saki's about to be converted, but here comes Dr. Takashi to save her with some secular lead. With Saki saved, it's now time for some exposition.
あんたたちがあのゾンビを作ったの。
化け物を作るつもりじゃなかった。
あんたたちのせいで仲間が死んだわ。
Hey, maybe show a little gratitude here. He did save you. Oh, and there's a smart zombie with a brain, too.
知能の優れたやつが一匹いる。
なんですって。
ただのゾンビじゃない。思考能力のあるやつだ。
Speaking of that zombie with a brain, she drops in on Soldier Boy back in the lab. The doc finds the dead soldier and the queen zombie, who somehow found clothes for this special occasion. Look, there's probably a Nordstrom down in the basement. He doesn't blast her, though. Instead, they get reacquainted over some exposition.
お前を生き返らせたかった。それだけだったのに。
Yeah, turns out Takashi here created this whole zombie mess because he wanted to bring his wife back from the dead. Oh, how sweet. But before he can put her down like she's old Yeller on the farm, she busts out these zombie ninja moves. Saki eventually saves Takashi, but he's not in good shape. After some more blabbing, he's headed back to the control room, presumably to get his ass kicked again. Some dudes are into that. Also, I like that he just runs right through the zombies. How come no one thought of this earlier? Oh right, probably because this happens. Wifey shows up with the old ball and chain in tow for the final showdown. But first, she stops for some finger food. But before she can even finish, Saki goes all Annie Oakley and blasts her in the head. Movie over, right? Well, not so fast. She's not only not dead, she's got a sweet new wig, too. Now she kinda looks like Nier Automata's 2B. And she's clearly still hungry because she eats the keys. Saki impales her with a pole, but that doesn't even slow her down. Hey, remember Akira? Yeah, he's still in this movie. He's really digging the zombie queen's new look as he chops her in half with a shovel. But before they can ride off into the sunset, they have to dig through her entrails to find the key. This is a real gutsy move. Armed with the key, they start the destruct sequence like it's the climax of a Resident Evil game and then dip out. Only surprise, the queen's still alive. She's half the woman she used to be, but that's more than Akira can handle. Saki's had enough though and turns her into zombie tempura once and for all. Zombie tempura. With the clock ticking, they make a break for it and dive out of this window as the building explodes behind them. And back at the base, General BTK is ready to start the project anew.
Yes, sir. I still have the record data. We can start the program anytime you want.
Bureaucracy is the best. Oh hey, remember Saki's car deal? Well, turns out she had a good credit score because the guy delivers them this Corvette. Oh wait, they financed it with the four-knuckle plan. If you thought that was the end, guess again. We've got time for a stinger. Yeah, there it is. Junk may not have an original thought in its entire 82-minute runtime, but there's no denying that it's a silly good time. It's like Reservoir Dogs meets From Dusk Till Dawn with a healthy dash of Romero and Fulci zombie films mixed in for flavor. And it's got some solid zombie carnage to boot. But will that be enough to earn it 5 barf bags? Let's go to the gore card. In terms of gross anatomy, Junk delivers. We're treated to 1 throat impaling, copious gut munching, a throat bite, numerous headshots, 1 decapitation, and a shovel bisection. The gore is impressive for a modestly budgeted feature, and there's enough of it here to earn Junk a 3 barf bag rating. This isn't the ultra-extreme Japanese splatter we often cover on Sick Flicks, but it definitely delivers some blood and guts. Looking for more Japanese gore? Then check out my review of Ichi the Killer. You'll find a link here on the screen. I'll meet you over there. Until next time, I'm Mike Bracken, aka the Horror Geek, bringing you all the splatter that matters.